Hey troops, it's Royce from Geek's Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from Studio Gamma in a townhome in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. Oh, hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I'm still digesting turkey and recovering from tryptophan overdose and, all that other stuff. So, you see this bot, this little casing thing. Remember my last video was in the process of building, continuing the giant god killer mech and building a chariot or something for it to ride on, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, I've been busy over the last few days. And my fingers will attest to the, hot glue guns are hot. They're really hot. Ow! Yeah, got it finished. At least as far as I can tell, it's finished. You know how projects are. I mean, you keep going at it, add stuff, looking at it again, tinkering with it, blah, 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 and eventually brain finally goes, just call it a day. We're done. We're done. And I've actually officially christened it with a different name. I'm calling it you know how in Super Robots you've got, and when it comes to giant mechs, mecha in anime, you got two basic types. You got super robots like Mazinga, Gal Gaigar, where, they're all uber powerful. Voltron, where it very, very powerful. They take damage, but damage, smabbage. What do you mean you need reloading? Don't need no stinking reloading. And then you've got the other type, which is more realistic military types, like the stuff you see in Macross, Mobile Suit Gundam, the one that actually started that trend, where, we need to reload. Yeah, we're going to take damage and this sucks. And of course, things range from there. Or you have, various combinations like Gunbuster, a mix of both. Well, then as I built this thing, the idea of, what if you wanted a mech to take on Galactus, or you wanted a mech to take on Azathoth from H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu Cycle, the giant monster from Hades at the center of the universe with all sorts of tentacles and stuff. What if you wanted to build something to take on that? Something powerful, something massive. Yeah, like you need a giant robot to fight a giant monster. I know. I'm a mech fan! So, the idea of, first, the name God Killer, well, that sounded kind of lame. So then all of a sudden, a celestial mech. Yes, that's what they'll be called as a class. So you got stuff actually, stuff like Gunbuster, stuff like the Netflix version of Voltron, where they are, these massive, very, very powerful, you could take on a fleet of ships, you could, split a planetoid in half, that kind of stuff. So, that's where this came from, a giant robot, and its chariot, carrier, Zord, sled, whatever you call it. So, I present to you... Oops. Sorry about that. The box hit the camera. Sorry. Actually, no! The mech landed, and it created such a shockwave that it shook the camera! Whatever. This, boys and girls, fellow geeks, is the Great Landmaster. In all of its crazed, unpainted glory. Assembly, as far as I can tell, is complete, or at least as far as my brain will let me do. I think at this my brain's going, you've been doing this for how long now, fool? It is on a Lazy Susan, as you may have guessed, which seemed like the best way to show it off. You're wondering, Roy, how tall is it? How big is this thing? About 2 feet tall. How long is it? Was it 27 inches? No. Yeah, about 27 inches long. How wide is it? Well, not including the wings. Not that wide, actually. Only about, Just under 12 inches. There it is, all that work. That box that I just tossed on the ground, that's what the base is here. That the whole thing is sitting on. Called it two modes. Since, like I mentioned in my first video on this, I'm calling it the Great Landmaster after the Japanese demigod. So the two modes are the Samurai mode, which, duh, considering it's a Samurai Megazord, and the Dragon, not Samurai mode, the Samurai unit up here, and the Dragon unit down here. Especially since, well, got the dragon, and he's riding the dragon. Get it? Riding it like a horse. Dragon, steed. Oh, who cares? Anyway, let's see. The base was that box we saw, and this is a little more packing material on the two sides here, and on this side attached to the base casing. And as you can see, the giant Megazord here, and from there, a giant hodgepodge of stuff. Let's see here. On the Dragon unit, it's almost like a giant battleship, really. Lots of different weapons, gun emplacements. This Dragon is from, for all you Ninjago fans, yes, I got the in bulk parts, so I decided to burn it up like that. It was perfect. I've been holding on to that forever, trying to find a great project for it. Bingo! It's along the sides. Oh, since this is, and as you can see, we got this kind of blue crystal-y stuff going on, and of course the elder signs on everything, because it's H.P. Lovecraft. You gotta do that. You gotta have an elder sign. Oop, and more blue crystal-y stuff down in there. Of course, because this is H.P. Lovecraft influenced, because we're talking about biotech, yeah, I got more animal heads. Because right now you're probably looking up here and going, oh my god, is that like a bird head in there? Actually, that's Rodan. And I've got the head of Godzilla down in here. And as you may recall, the heads of Batra, I think, was on this side, and Mothra was on this side. And as you can see the wings for Batra, Rodan. And yes, those are the arms of Godzilla. Hey, it's biotech. It's demented biotech. Oh, and the tail of a miscellaneous dragon from I don't know how long ago. And as you can see here, why biotech? Like I said, it's H.P. Lovecraft. And number two, what would you do if you're basically trying to fight a nigh omniscient, omnipotent, crazed, all-powerful being? What help would you try and get to fight it? What lengths would you go to fight it? You get the idea. Anyway, so yeah, the carrier section down here. A multitude of weapon emplacements. Turrets, little arm things. And on the samurai unit. Now you may recall the original samurai unit had I used the base sword at that point from the original Samurai Megazord. I was going to try and tinker with it, yada, 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 but the sword itself is actually kind of cool. I didn't want to just blow it up and, maul it to death. So I kit bashed the crap out of a whole bunch of stuff. This gold blade here, it was in part of miscellaneous parts. All of this is built. This is all scratch built. Yes, it is meant to look like the giant blazing sword from Voltron. Why? Because it has one of the coolest melee weapons of all time. The fact that it looks like a giant axe and a sword combined together. How badass is that? And on the other side, you may recall the bow. The bow is still here. The bow is larger because, I didn't want to do it. You got a giant robot. It's got to have a giant bow. And as you notice, and you may have seen now, the wings have changed a lot. I've added a lot more bells and whistles, added a lot of reinforcement because as I was building this thing, moving stuff around all over the place, yada, 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 the realization that those wings are never going to stay in place. I got to do something. So all this other stuff. And of course, more cannons and stuff. So there it is. the Celestial Mech, the Great Landmaster, in all of its glory, in its Samurai unit and the Dragon unit. No, this is not the end of the story, because you're kind of looking going, dude, man, how much crap is on that? What does that thing do? How many pieces are on that? Dear God! There'll be more videos coming along the way. So please, patience. Yes, I'm going to paint this thing, and it's, oh dear God, it's going to take a long time. So anyway, here's the end of the overview, the general look of the mech, so you can take a peek at it and see how absolutely crazy I am. Give me a glue gun and plastic and tin snips, and I'll change the world. Or at least give myself a whole bunch of second degree burns from the glue gun. Such is life. Anyway, hey, y'all have a good week. Hope y'all recovering from Thanksgiving, and seriously, hope you guys had a good time this weekend and stuff, okay? May the force be with you. May the odds always be in your favor. And as always, let's be good to each other, okay, peeps? Take care. Peace. Later.